Wednesday, y'all. Hump day, right? Unbelievable. January 4th, 4 days into the new year. You know, had me thinking a little bit today to a continuance of yesterday about forming good habits and listening to your inputs and everything. And I put the challenge out there to talk about what is your thoughts on good habits that you feel you have already to propel you into your end result. And appreciate the comments. Um, Listen to read one that good friend of mine that spoke to a little meditation before bed. She wakes up with a positive attitude. Others where it's meal prepping and little CrossFit action in the morning. Another one was people, surround yourself with good people. Another one was my shout out to Wit, miss your ass. Hope to see you soon. Glad to see your success going on with you and the fam, and talking about 10K. That was always the challenge every day, was to get as many steps. I used to have a challenge with someone that, we'd always look at our watches at the end of the day and see who had the most step. And it was always a competition, which was great because getting that movement, getting that flow through your body, it was just a phenomenal feeling. I said I was going to wind up sharing some of my rituals, the routines that I've adapted over the years to really form very, very good habits. And I created a lot over a period of time, maybe a few years, maybe a few months, and I'm always kind of modifying and adjusting them accordingly. But overall, it's still the general idea. So one of the first things that I did in the past was look up successful people. What do they do? Whether it's Elon Musk or anybody of that prestige, that really are successful and watched and studied and read up on their habits. Most not so much as far as wealthy, but how they define success. And I define success by what you create. How creative are you? And a lot of the things that I noticed was one of the first ones that I wound up adapting for myself was a very firm, great, motivating morning ritual. What I read, this was probably years ago, where I read one person did a study and they found that within 5 to 7 minutes of waking up, your brain is the most susceptible to the most information. And I know for a lot of years, I would always wake up, shut the alarm off, and just start scrolling through my phone within the first 5 minutes of waking up. And I never really realized how much that did to me mentally and set the tone for my day, whether it's scrolling through Facebook, looking at Instagram, looking at some Snapchats. It really didn't set the tone I wanted for the day. So what I've learned to adapt was put the damn phone down. I started thinking of things other folks have done, which was really, some went for a run, some meditated, some winded up cooking a healthy breakfast, whatever made them supercharged to kickstart their day. I started to learn that a meaningful morning ritual really helps start the day on a positive, proactive note. Read many books in regards of, get up, put 2 feet on the ground, make your bed. Damn, you just got done with the first task of the day, and that momentum just keeps rolling. I believe having a structured day instead of rushing to make up for last time. I was the poster boy for getting up in enough time, setting the alarm, hitting snooze 8 million times, have 5 alarms set on my phone, and just enough time to, shower, shave, shit, and run out the door. And when we start that mantra and we go with that flow, we're just in reactive mode. At that point, we didn't take time to really set our rhythm. And I always use terms that people that are close to me always knows I use terms that like battle rhythm, right? So we didn't even set our battle rhythm for the day because right there we're just bam, 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 no compass, no waypoints, no nothing. And for the rest of the day, you're reactive. And what I've noticed without a good morning routine, it's like you were rushing up for a makeup of lost time. And a lot of mental fatigue sets in, the productivity, whether it's work, business, company, really started to dip. So what I've learned for me was to take a step back. If I was waking up at 6 o'clock and I developed a routine that is beneficial to me to be more productive, to be more alert, to set a compass, right? I got more results. I was less reactive. I was more proactive. So I know a lot of folks struggle, with some morning routines. What I've done, like I said, is I looked at routines of the most successful people, whether it was Matthew McConaughey, like I said, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Dan Pena, Eric Thomas. I followed so many people and just studied and researched what their routines were and started adapting them for myself. And if you don't know where to begin, sort of the routine that I've started well over a couple of years ago and, did a lot this past year, fell off a little bit and shared it with others. And, at times we'd actually even do it together. But the biggest ones that I started was, you wake up, you get out of bed, just push yourself, get out of bed. Water, H2O, right? You need to hydrate your body. Wake up a little bit. Breathing, horrible that, right? Do about a 1 to 2 minute guided breathing. If you're not sure how to do it, YouTube is a wonder. Our technology nowadays is phenomenal to help you reach what you're trying to reach. So I do breathing for about 1 to 2 minutes. Exercise, I'd look at just 1 to 2 minutes, knock out some push-ups, knock out some sit-ups, do some jumping jacks, act like you're in elementary gym class, right? Then from there, I'd go into a guided meditation, usually about an 8 to 10 minute meditation. Those are on YouTube. I'll share a lot of the links that I'm speaking to, provide you as much information as I can. After a guided meditation, I go right into a gratitude list. I'd always try to write about 5 to 10. And I don't keep them at a high level. I keep them at a very simple, low level, because if we don't appreciate the little things, we're not going to appreciate the big things. So whether I'm talking about being grateful for a microphone I'm speaking into, or a chair I'm sitting in, or a hat I'm wearing on my head, or even a camera I'm speaking into, I think a lot when it comes to gratitude list, people really struggle. And I'll do a whole nother segment on gratitude and how it reciprocates. After a gratitude list, I make a task list. My task list is very simple. It's 3 things I want to do professionally: career, job, business, what may it be. And then 3 things I want to do personally. 3 things personally could be put up the laundry that I love leaving on the dryer, vacuum in my bedroom, cleaning out the backseat of my car that I love just tossing water bottles in, right? And then professional. Do I want to delete 100 emails, get my inbox down to a certain level? Do I want to schedule that meeting that I've been putting off? Write it down. Just something simple that is not going to take and drain any discipline or energy I have, like I spoke to yesterday. That's it. Walk into the shower, take a shower. During about the last minute, and I know a lot of people never tried this, I would suggest you do, but start in small increments. The last minute, switch to cold. If you do some research, and I'll provide links, you do some research, that energizes your nervous system. It like jumpstarts your nervous system. Myself, never hit a minute. I think the most I ever hit was about 18 seconds. You would not believe the feeling walking out. By the time you get out of the shower, if you back your wake up time 30 minutes, time you get out of the shower, your whole compass is set for the day. Your mind is tooled and geared, and you're ready to tackle it. Another habit that I do is read. I read a ton. Cheap most of the time with Audible, right? But I get the Audible, I buy the book. I think reading books is a great way to exercise mentally. You gain knowledge, and it stimulates a lot of creativity. I never used to read 7 years ago when I really transformed myself, but I think it's one of the most important things I have ever done to really enhance my experience here while I'm here. It has such a calming effect that I know folks that read books before bed. I know folks that read books in the morning. They take a break at work, they're reading a book. Besides the calming effect, it's unbelievable sometimes how much focus it gives you. And like I said, I knew my mother that would always read, fictional novels and stuff like that. But she was a big reader. I can remember being a little kid and she'd have these stack of these little books size of a TV guide. But she'd always read. And I think it was a calming effect. And she was one of the most calm people I've ever known in my life. Nonfiction books is my taste. It's an excellent tool for me to expand myself. I always consider it more tools in my toolbox to use through my daily activities. It also gives me a chance to stimulate new ideas, gives me a lot of motivation. And honestly, a lot of motivational books I really choose with people that's been through real life experience, Eric Thomas, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, T.D. Jakes, a lot of those folks that really bring a mix of spirituality and motivation for me. And I could see how they overcame certain obstacles. I'm going to put a list of books in the comments or in the post on this. Like I said, I follow the Secret series with Rhonda Byrne. I do Atomic Habits, James Clear, Power of One, Ed Mylett. Inner engineering on a spiritual side with Sadhguru. Posted one the other day with David Goggins, You Can't Hurt Me. And like I said, Eric Thomas, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, a lot of those folks. They really, really help me with everything I'm trying to tackle, everything I'm trying to accomplish, right? And I never forget my spiritual side, I know there's your Joel Osteens, like I said, your T.D. Jakes, Stephen Furtick. He's my latest pastor that was 2022 going into 2023, coming to St. Louis. Got tickets for that, so very excited to see that show in April. So very, very stoked. He's very, very good pastor. If you're touching on the spiritual side, I would suggest look up Steve Furtick on YouTube, look him on Google and hook up with his church. I think it's very, very important to get in touch with that. Read, expand, learn new ideas, have some creativity. I was walking real short story. It's going to be short. I was walking into the store the other day with my son, my oldest, and he's talking to me about certain things going on in his life. And I, walking into Best Buy, I had to look at him and say, when was the last time you read a book? And please don't tell me college. And I told him, you have to read. It's very, very important. Put that as a habit. Take an hour. Go to Amazon Audible. I got probably 5 credits for books and I'm paying $17 a month. So I think it's important. Use it. Implement it into your schedule as a habit, and you will be surprised on how much results you get in the end for just picking up a couple books. One of the other things I thought about was learn a single task. When I talked about my morning ritual right now, I talked about writing 3 things down professional and 3 things down personal. And I don't mean write 10 things professional, 10 things personal, tackle them all at once. over the year, probably 2 years, I've mastered almost the art of single tasking. Um, it's doing one thing, going to the next, doing one thing, going to the next. And when I started researching this, it turned out that only 2% of the people in the world can multitask successfully. Period. Do your research, challenge it, but 2% in the world can multitask successfully. And what we do is we find ourselves making these big lists, right? And we try to get them all done. By the end of the day, guess what? We feel defeated. We're even more down on ourselves and hard on ourselves because we didn't even tackle what we put out to do. Single task. There's no harm in occasional multitasking. You know, if you got a lot of stuff going on at the house, you need to get a lot of things done. There's no issue with that if you do it occasional, but constant juggling, I'm going to tell you, constant juggling, overtasking limits a lot of focus. It contributes to a lot of clutter in our heads. It's difficult to filter out at that point relevant, irrelevant information, what's important, what's a task, what's a priority, what's not, because we just have this list that's constantly running. Single task. Slow down. Don't be in a rush. I learned that. I just had this conversation the other day. Epiphany, I told my friend that, you know, I'm in Target. I had nowhere to go. I was in no rush. But my whole body was like in reactive mode to like, hurry up, gotta go, gotta go. I had to pause for a minute, grabbing a cart and say, slow down. And it's because part of my old instinct kicked in that I had all these things to do. Didn't set my mantra for the day. So I started just having all these things I had to get done. Slow down, stop. Sat in Starbucks and Target and single task 3 things that I need to get done that day. It worked wonders. You know, there was a study by Stanford University. I don't usually try to follow too many studies, but it was interesting to me that I read the other day. And it really said heavy multitasking lowers efficiency and may impair your cognitive control. So what I gathered and my experience just the other day doing it, single task as much as possible. You'll get more done. Make a list of the things we need to accomplish in a day, like I said. 3 career, 3 professional. And then whatever's most important, make your way down the list. I'm telling you, you will feel very much accomplished by the end of the day, just completing one at a time. Simple, not large, just make it simplistic, right? And some things need to be simple. And those that know me know, man, I'm an overanalyzer and overthinker. But on this side, I'm going to be honest with you, keep it simple. I know these are just 3 habits. I have 9 that I logged and really looked into that I try to follow every day. I'm going to leave this one where it's at right now with 3. I want to know your comments. I want to know your thoughts on it. Like I said, shout out to everybody that's been, you know, promoting this and really trying to expand and look into how to make their life experience here great, right? So much love to you guys. Stay very blessed. Always remember eternal love. Keep grinding, keep pushing, keep moving forward. And I'll put all those links that I talked about in the comments later. I'll also make a little writing to go along with it. And man, just keep going focused, man. Be blessed. And most importantly, keep doing you.